Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. I failed to charge up my iPad today, so I've got it charged, and so I'm tethered to the computer here. I'll try to get chat pulled up here. I can see them coming up. Greg, welcome. I get it pulled up where I can read it on here shortly. But anyway, thank y'all all for joining tonight. Brian Hughes, Vi Basson, V.A. Basson, I'm going to assume. M.R. Uncle Sasquatch. Randy Bacorn. Diane Houston. Jessica Wallington. Wayne Wiley, the Fat Tree Rat Hunter. Thank you, Wayne. Y'all, I am doing well. You coming to make an appearance? Come over here and tell them hey. Turn around, tell them all hey.
Hey.
Brody showed up, gonna make his appearance. He's been gone to his nana's for the last day and a half. Spent the night last night. So anyway, tell him why we running behind, Brody. He gets fascinated with looking at himself. Oh, you look on that. Look at that. Tell him. Don't worry about this. Tell him why we dragging around about being on him.
Because we want to do our live.
Yeah, but what was we in there doing?
We was eating deer meat.
We was eating deer meat. Is that your favorite thing? He likes looking at himself on here because it's lagging behind on here. Look, quit monkeying. Anyway. They all telling you, hey.
Hey.
When you gonna look at them?
I want to look at the picture.
He likes being a monkey. What you been in yonder doing? What you playing with in there?
Army man.
Go tell them. You been in there playing with what?
Happy Christmas.
With Army men? Them Miss Mary sent you?
Yeah.
He's about wore them out.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on.
Hey, Mama, can you give me one of those cakes?
Those what? Yeah,
Those
go
cakes.
get him one of them. We have found the answer to world peace is right there. So anyway, how y'all doing tonight? Y'all all been enjoying the first day of December? I looked up today and realized that it was the first day of December. Brody,
Come on.
Michelle, you're going to have to...
I'm fixing to get him.
He gets in here, he want to jump on the bed. I can't concentrate with him showing out in here. So anyway, in here showing out. If you're going to be in here with me, you're going to mind. You hear? I don't know what's going on. The weather is good. It shouldn't be acting up. I hadn't been having no trouble with it at all. So anyway, Anyway, is it working now? Seems like it's all right here. You crumbling that cake everywhere. Look in my chair right there. You silly thing. The only bad thing, y'all, he won't go fishing with me no more. Every time I've asked him to go fishing, he'd rather play with his men. You don't like to fish no more? Quit showing out. Hey, quit showing out. You don't like to fish no more?
No.
Why not?
Okay.
Why you don't like to fish? Go on now if you're going to act silly. Go on in yonder. Am I going to have to call your mama? Hey, y'all. Them Christmas tree cakes, and it ain't, that they so much better than any other Little Debbie cake. It's just that it's Christmas, and you only get them for a short period of time through Christmas. And they... Behave now. And so, when you only get them for a little while, you want to eat them then. I guess that's what makes them so great. You wait all year, and after Christmas, they gone. And then last year, like, none of the grocery stores had any. The only place you could get any was convenience stores. And it was a select few convenience stores, so I don't know what happened. But now this year, we found 2 boxes. Look, you're going to get back. This year, we found 2 boxes today at a grocery store. So I picked them up, and I like them. But like I said, it ain't that the Christmas tree cakes is so much better than anything else. It's just that, I guess it's tradition, and everybody goes crazy. But now, Michelle come in with me the other day with a little old bucket of ice cream that was a Christmas tree cake. So I like them. They good. I guess it's like the cheating time of year on your diets. You cheat on your diet. Sunbright, Tennessee. That's Danita. Hello from Texas. Y'all, I'm sure I'm missing some names. If I don't call everybody out, when it starts getting to be a pile of people on here, it's hard to keep up with everybody that's on there. Look, you getting in front of me. You stay over that way if you're going to stay here.
I'm the one that's telling you what to do.
You what?
I'm the one that's telling you.
You the one telling me what to do? You come here. Come here.
I ain't sitting with my gun.
He's going to get his gun. The other night, we was sitting in here, and Roscoe, we was, my mama come up here. Sit down, son. Everybody wants to be on camera. Sit down. Sit down right there. You all right? Just sit down. But he wasn't happy with that, was he? Hey, Brody's mama's fixing to get him because he's showing out. Get his gun and take him in yonder and shut the door. He can't behave. He's to that stage he wants to monkey and have all the attention. So anyway, where was I? Oh, I know what I was telling. My mama come up here, and her and my wife is in there just talking, trying to have a conversation. And Brody's standing there pulling on my mama's coattail going, Nanny. He calls her Nanny. And he was just telling her something, and Michelle was talking. He turned around to Michelle. He said, hush. He said, I'm trying to talk. So, he's done figured out that, he's pretty sharp. So anyway, y'all, what I was doing, the reason we was late starting, we was in there eating fresh deer meat. I finally got me a little doe yesterday. And wasn't nothing to brag about. It was a young doe, and it's just meat. I didn't film nothing, so there ain't gonna be no deer killing video. I'm your Huckleberry. We got all our Christmas up. We pulled that mess out the week of Halloween. Right after Halloween, got that all up. And the reason is it's such a job to put all the mess up. If I wait till now to start trying to put up Christmas, by the time we get all ours up, it's time to start taking it down. So, anyway. But I do love Christmas, and I like Christmas decorations. I like to Clark Griswold the house up. If I could afford the light bill, we'd have lights everywhere. But now I do know one thing: you better buy them LED lights, or else you'll be every time you turn around, half a strand will be out, and you'll be working on them. Larry, you need a tree like mine to put up. Since we have been married, which we was married 20 years, this past summer, we have always had hand-me one a lady gave us was a 9-foot tree after we moved in here because our ceiling in yonder is so tall. A 6-foot tree looks like a potted plant sitting over there. I mean, it's dwarfed. So we had several trees, but we wanted a big tree because we had a 16-foot ceiling. So it was like, let's get a 12-foot tree. Well, last year, early in the year, that Kings of Christmas online had a running sale, and they had an unlit tree on sale for like $300, right at $400. I think time it was shipped and all, it was $400, which it's like a $1,200 tree, or right at it. I was like, well, get it. We need one, but want one. We got a little extra money. Let's get it. And y'all, a 12-foot tree is a challenge to decorate. It took us all night to decorate it. From the time we started that afternoon till about 10 o'clock that night, putting that tree up and decorating it. Now, when we put one up, the limbs just fold out, but you got to go through and straighten to where it looks decent. So, you know, it'll wear you out. So that's why we like to put everything up early so you can enjoy it for plenty of time before, you know, otherwise, time you get it out, you put it up. So anyway, the deer, I shot a little old deer. I was just easing around back here with my rifle and spotted a young deer. There was about 3 of them. And I shot one of the middle-sized ones. Mary, you fixing to get to the busy time of year in your line of work. Probably already done got busy. All these packages coming. So I'm glad to know that all of y'all have had a doozy of a week too. I'm going to tell y'all what's eating my lunch is working on this back patio. I got the last 2 of my poles peeled today and up. I started working on notching. I've got 4 or I think 5 of them notched on the front end, and I'm only notching them like this deep, just enough so it don't just want to slide back. I've got to go get some screws to screw the back in, so I've been filming on that. I got all my lathing. Went the log that we took and had sawed up. We went this morning, picked that up, and brought it home. And she said fixing to. Oh Lord! Boom! You missed Mary talking about her mail route delivering. She's a mail carrier. So, you know, she's at her fun time of year. She loves that holiday spirit. Y'all ever watch Cheers? Y'all remember Cliff when he'd come in griping about the mail around Christmas and his feet hurting? That's what I think about. Mary, go back and watch Cheers and you can sympathize with Cliff. I've got to check something, y'all, right quick on my iPad on eBay. I can't tell you what it is because some of y'all might be checking it too. Uh-oh, it ain't going to work for me. Thank you. The bandanas I have, y'all, let me, while we on the bandanas, y'all, this is the bandana box. this is, look, this is all bandanas. And a lot of them is just I used to fold them, but time I dig through them to find what color I want, they wind up like this. There is no shortage of bandanas. All right, let me show y'all right now what I'm doing. You see this? Can y'all see with the light? I'm on eBay. So there's 5 minutes left on this case fish knife. $5.65 shipping, and it's at $16.50 right now. I feel like that's going to tremendously go up like here at the last minute. So you don't never want to place a bid till like a minute in. So I'm kind of watching that. I'll probably be in live. I'll fool around and miss it. So if I do, it'll be all right. It ain't like I ain't got a drawer full of them over there. I done cornered the market on them fish knives, though. I like them, y'all. Uncle Sasquatch, you think I got a handful of them or not? Boom said, I'm impressed with that porch. That porch, y'all, is eating my lunch. As far as it's just a project that I need to get done, but I will have it roofed. It won't be finished by no means. But I'll have a roof on it to where I can keep my firewood dry by the end of this, sometime next week. By the end of next week, it'll be where I can probably get under it and cook, maybe. Vicky, the mug is glazed. Probably gonna reglaze it. We wasn't happy with the way the color come out. So it was real light colored and it didn't, it's gonna have to refire to a higher temperature. So anyway, yes, the Queen fishing knives are awesome. Queen makes a good quality knife. Now it's a China piece of steel. It's got China on the blade. I know a lot of people frown right there, but that is a good knife. The springs work good. It feels like a quality knife, and I have used it. It stayed sharp. It's so for $20, I can't complain about it. Now I probably wouldn't pay if I was gonna pay $70 or $80 for a knife. Well, yeah, I would order me a case by any means, but for $20, you can't beat Queen knives. Mary said, "What mug?" Oh Lord, I don't know nothing about no mug. Y'all see this one right here? I want to try to make. If I ever learn to wheel throw, I'm gonna make some of these. I'm gonna figure this out. This one I got at a flea market. And what I like is you can set it on the dash of your truck or over on that console, and the way it's designed, the coffee don't slosh out as bad. But now we done soaked that in dishwashing liquid for quite a bit, and it's trying to get the smell out of it. Y'all, we still at 1650. We're down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds on it. So I'm gonna have to sit here and keep up with this and see if we can win us a new pocket knife. So at 1650 with 565 shipping. Still, y'all ready at like $24. $23 anyway. One minute and 50 seconds. Oh, it just jumped to 1750. Y'all watch this thing will go out of sight right here in the next few minutes. There ain't no way that it's gonna go less than $40. No way it's gonna go less than $40. If nothing else, it'll be interesting to sit here and watch it just go choom, choom, choom. A minute and 21 seconds. The bids don't usually start shooting up till about 30 seconds to go. 1 minute, 9 seconds. I didn't want to say 10. I knew by the time I said it, it'd be 9. 1 minute to go, 59 seconds. $44 seconds. So I put in $25. That's the max that I'm going to bid. If it goes over that, they can have it because it'll be 30-something dollars. And I'm watching it's 28 seconds. When it hits about 10 seconds, I'll hit my button and see what happens. If we get it, we get it. We don't, we don't. I figure it'll start shooting up. And my internet may be so slow. You're not the highest bidder. They had it said it went to 26. So they got it for $1 more than what I bid. But at least they didn't get it for a little of nothing. All right. We'll go back to my comments and we'll see what y'all had to say about that. All right. Hunter's Papa. Wait till you in the hospital having surgery and your neighbor shoots one out of your stand that you've been hunting all year. That happened to me when I was in high school. Somebody shot one out of my stand while I was in the hospital having knee surgery on my knee. I won't never forget that. All you can do is, well, congratulations. Oh, and they was proud of it. It never crossed their mind that I would have frowned on it. But that's just part of it. I'm going to tell you the best piece of advice about deer hunting is don't kill a big buck. Don't do it. The worst mistake you can make is to kill a big buck. You'll lose your hunting lease. You'll never be invited to hunt nowhere else. Your friends will be mad at you. That's the quickest way to lose every friend you got is to kill a good buck. They'll all like your Facebook post, but then they walking around gritting their teeth behind your back. That's why I don't even care nothing about bucks more. I want to shoot me 2 or 3 does. I'm more about the meat than I am the horns. Now, I like the horns. I get as excited as you do when I shoot one. It ain't worth it though. Cindy, we've been sitting here waiting all this time. Hadn't said a word waiting for you to get here. Now we can start talking. I'm just funning y'all. You know it is. Oh, I like to reported somebody. I don't know who. I didn't mean to. I was trying to scroll up and it come up with a list of things they wanted me to do to somebody, and I said, "Oh no, I don't. I didn't mean that." Well, Diane, is 25 an even number or an odd? I went 25. Is that an even? That's an odd number, I think. They went to 26. I figured they had 30 in there. I didn't want it that bad. I mean, if I didn't have a knife, it'd be one thing. I only wanted it if I could get it for a deal. I'd rather buy there's a queen on there for $19 that I'll probably order that's got free shipping, and that'll be what I get. Francisco, you can boil them horns and boil them and you can't eat them. They don't even make good broth. But I do have to defend the fact that they make fairly good knife handles if you know what you're doing. But y'all done sent me enough horns that I can make knife handles the rest of my life and not have to kill another deer. So I'm going to start gluing them to doe heads. I'm going to get some of them horns, and I'm going to hold that doe up by the ears and stick them horns in it and go, y'all look at this. And I ain't even killed no deer, and tell them, I shot this over here on so-and-so's place. That'll make them mad. Or either I killed this on public land down there. Hey, that one year I killed this 12 point in here on the wall down there in the swamp. I was through hunting. I had limited out that year on deer. I couldn't go back. So I told them, I killed him down there. Y'all, you wouldn't believe it, the people that swarmed that public land and went to hunting down there. Now it looks like a used car lot down there when you go. They used to not nobody hunt down there because it's always public land, ain't no deer on there. They don't run them off, and they really ain't that many. It's funny to watch all them folks, though. They get all wound up about some horns. And I mean, if you kill the biggest deer, you think you've killed the biggest one there is or something? I mean, what? It's like a competition. Always somebody gonna outdo you. So I give up on it. Antlers. I bet you don't like poisonous snakes either. You put a clip in your gun. Oh, look, I can't help it. I can't. Some of us is born that way. Oh, Lord. Linwood Vowel, how are you tonight? Weston, you done got 3? Well, you're going to have to shoot me one. Because I'm struggling this year. My problem is I'm struggling out here with a back porch peeling logs. I'm going to tell y'all, I peeled on them logs today and like to wore me out. I come in and said, you know what, I believe I'm going to go to town for a break. Lady Hammer, I had to move my picture of Jesus around to the end of the bar over there because of where we put the tree. You wouldn't be able to see it. And it kind of bothered me that we had Jesus on the wall where he was looking right up at the TV. And I was like, he probably don't like to watch that much TV. So we moved him around where he's looking into the kitchen now. Larry, we had deer steak for supper tonight. We take that back strap, slabs about yay thick, and battered in some egg, and then over into the flour. We put it in milk and then into flour, and then drop it in that hot grease. Oh, man. Man. You talk about fine eating. And that's why I was about 7 minutes late starting this broadcast with the Pappy O'Donnell flour hour. Because we was in there eating deer meat. Y'all know about the Pappy O'Donnell flour hour? There's a fella in there that'll pay you $10 to sing in his can. Oh, yeah, there's a lot we can do with them. Oh, and I am going to use some of them for buttons, but I got a lot of knife handles I'm going to make, and a lot of different stuff. But I hadn't had time to work on anything because we've got Pottery still like orders picking up. So we have just about turned the website off where people can't just play. You may have to contact her. I don't. She's had to, cause y'all. I mean, people start placing big orders, and I can't get it to them by Christmas. It's kind of a big deal. So. Marty, it ain't a bad idea to keep a tarp if you in see like with me in a pickup. I'll put him back. That Chevrolet I just painted, it was 2 weeks old. And we was riding around in it one night. Had some buddies. We had the radio cranked up. We was riding these back roads. I got a new truck. Man, we gonna ride. Wham! Hit a deer over there. I got mad. Got it busted in front of my grill up. The headlights out. I kicked that deer with my boot like to broke my toe. We throwed it in the back. And they said, well, you going to take it home? I said, well, by God, for what it just cost me, I ain't going to leave it laying here. It's a $500 deductible on the insurance. Deer's expensive. But I didn't leave it there. I ate it and grinned the whole time I was eating it. Uncle Sasquatch, that tincture that I made that has got goldenrod tops, turkey tail mushroom, rabbit tobacco, something else I put in there. I got it wrote on the bottle out there. I took a swig of it the other day after getting a sore throat and my sinuses all plugged up. That cleared it out. Man, that stuff, I promise you it tastes just like NyQuil. I made it out of alcohol. I said, now I know what they make NyQuil out of. This is just a stronger concentrate of it, but it knocked that stuff out, so you may have to gather you up some plants and make you some. I bet Mike Reed's got some made. He'd send you. I ain't got but a little bit. I didn't make very much because but I'll tell y'all something else here. Yesterday, I'm walking around, well, about to freeze. Well, I ain't about to freeze. I enjoy the cold weather, but everybody else is about to freeze. It was wind howling and it was cold. We had a fire going all day, and today I'm out there sweating in a t-shirt. That up and down in the temperature is what'll kill us here. I like that coffee cup right there. You like my guitar? I painted that guitar. It was blue. This is a PV Tracer. This is one I got to use some of them deer antlers we was talking about to make me some knobs for my guitar right there. I watch old J.R. Willis so I can learn how to play. He was teaching us some lessons, and he slacked off. I don't know. He's probably got too much going on. Marty, we do all our pottery in an electric kiln. Yeah, you can do it in an open fire, but there's a lot of technique and it's time consuming, and you got to stay up half a night to babysit it. So it's tricky. I hadn't tried to do it. It's a lot of work. Mary, I will right now. The deer that I killed yesterday is a young deer. It's about a half-grown doe. And being that it is a young doe, it is a prime candidate to cut everything up in steaks because it'll be tender. If I'm going to make jerky, I like to use those lesser valuable cuts that's going to be tough anyway because you cut them real thin and then dehydrate it, and it's going to be tough anyway. So Sarah, you can also do that with goldenrod. Goldenrod is a diuretic. It is very good if your body is retaining water to drain all that water off of you. But if it's possible to dehydrate you, it could do it because if you drink goldenrod, it'll make you pee more than the mullein will. Goldenrod is a well-known diuretic. In fact, it is what you use for what they call kidney gravel. I'm assuming that is the same thing as kidney stones. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. They may be two different things. You know, Marty, I have thought about this. I am going to make me a plate thing, pot, something, and I'm going to see about cooking. Whenever we get this back porch back here done, I'm going to do a lot more cooking in cast iron over the fire. That is one of the reasons I'm building this. I want to push more into my cooking videos because I enjoy cooking. I don't really think I'm a great cook. I like to experiment, and I'm on predominantly wild game, but we'll be doing all kind of other stuff too. Um, and I wanted to see, yeah, if I could put some of my pottery right over the fire and cook in it and see how it holds up. So I'll probably do some test pieces and see. Now you have to be careful about what glazes that you put in there because that glaze is basically sand and minerals that it cooks to about 2200 degrees to melt it and run it all, and it changes it. So I don't know, a fire you ain't gonna cook it over 400 degrees, so you should be fine in there, but you're gonna blacken it. I'm gonna experiment and see. I'm thinking that I just do an unglazed pottery and it'll season like cast iron. So I don't know. It's a interesting question, and I'm gonna research it and find out because yeah, I would love to like make me a pottery pot to cook on out there. That would be the coolest thing. That kind of stuff does interest me. Weston, you play the piano? I have got an electric piano in there. I can't play a lick. My daughter can play on it a little. So I love piano music. You keep practicing. Learning to play a piano is a good thing. The last deer jerky I made, I did a video making it, I guess last year in the smokehouse out there. And that's been some of the best deer jerky that I've ate is cooked over, but it has a strong smoky flavor. But the reason I say it was the best, when I dehydrated in my electric dehydrator, if you don't eat it all, which a lot of times we eat it all in the first week or two, like tater chips, but if it lays around, it'll start molding. And we always put it in a Ziploc bag for whatever reason. That probably ain't the best thing to put it in, but hey, we do this. We creatures of habit. We do the same thing, even if we know it's wrong. It's probably better in something that can get some air, stay dry. But anyway, we would put it in a Ziploc bag, and that's probably what caused it, but it would always ruin. Last year I did the same thing with this that I smoked, and it did not mold. It didn't start ruining. So we had that till over in the spring this year. I just had laid it to the side because some of it, so I wanted to see how long it would last. And we finally ate it all. It never did ruin. So that smoke does something to the bacteria as far as preserving it more than the dehydrator will only just remove the moisture. The smoke puts a strong flavor to it now. So depending on what wood you'd use. So anyway, that kind of stuff's interesting to know because most everybody now makes deer jerky either in the oven or on a dehydrator, which is common sense. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I ain't knocking it. I'm just letting you know if you're storing it for long-term usage, what the mountain men call jerked venison, that smoke does something for preserving it for a long time, and it makes a huge difference. So, just food for thought. Vicky, I ain't nothing like no other cook you've ever seen. They ain't no recipe. There ain't no set list of ingredients. I'm one of them cooks that opens up the refrigerator and goes, all right, what we got? All right, I want this, and I like that, and I like this. Well, let's throw all that together and see what we got. It's the way I cook. And I salt something, and I taste it, needs a little more. And be like, that's too much. Let's add something else to hide. I think a lot of people overthink cooking. And my biggest problem when I first started cooking was I like to turn them knobs on high. That ain't ever a good idea. Guess Outdoors from Philadelphia, Mississippi. I have been there before. Matter of fact, it was today. I went up there and drove by the court square and looked at that beautiful Christmas tree they got that's leaning off to one side. I hope they straightened it before they lit it up. I don't know. Lord, help them. Uva Ursa. Jason, I have yet to use Ursa. I have seen some way up in the tree, and I was like, I ain't crawling up there to get that. I figured I would encounter some cutting some trees down, but then my mind goes to I need to gather all this firewood up, and ain't no telling how much I've thrown the fireplace that I didn't even look at. Just grabbed it and throwed it right on in there. And I have heard a lot, Mary, about the corn silk tincture. I have actually never tried it. Mike Reed did a video on that, but now Mike Reed has deleted all of his plant videos, which breaks my heart. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I reckon. You heard Biden's tree fell over. I just can't imagine that happening. I wonder if he walked into it. Sounds like the way you cook, yeah. Who is Peter Santinello? I'll have to look that name up. I'll have to write it down, though, because I won't ever remember it when this show's over. What happened to my notepad? And I had a pen laying around here somewhere. I will wrote that name somewhere in here. I done made too many notes. All right. All right. Duly noted. I done about learned to keep, when I'm doing a live, to keep a pen handy, because somebody said you could go back and have the comments that roll through a live will be on it. Well, I don't never see them. I think one of my shows did that, and I don't know how you turn them on and off. I mean, I've looked in all my settings, and I don't see anywhere that you like turn them on or off. Or I don't know. So I can't never go back and go through the comments on my live. I'll have to go check him out. Vicky, for us, is what we got left, What's after we've done been to the grocery store and then we done cooked this, and this, and well, what's left? Okay, what we can make out of it. And I'm gonna tell y'all something that I am a fan of, and I think I did a video on it. But for breakfast, I like to cut up whatever sausage I can find. And I finally got me another pack of Mosby sausage today. But I like to cut it up in little fine pieces. I say fine, like the end of your finger, because I like stuff to be able to pile up on a fork. And then I'll scatter them eggs in there with that meat as it's brown. And then I throw in some bell peppers and some onions in there with it. And then season it with Tony's or whatever else I get handy and throw in there. And you talk about fine. Oh, man. I call it the garbage platter because you just throw everything in there and it looks like a bunch of garbage when you're cooking it, but it's good. But now, some of them folks don't like their stuff touching. Tommy, we had decided that you wasn't even coming. I mean, we'd done all, said Tommy ain't going to be here tonight. I don't know what we're going to do. Tommy's my buddy, y'all. He come up here and eat stew with me. Fly, little free bird, you're the best example of overcoming that I have met in my 52 years of living. Well, thank you. There ain't but one reason that I'm that good of an example, and that's because of him. That's all there is to it. I'll have to check him out. Jimmy Sullivan, there you are. We never did go camping. I ain't had time to camp. Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, I looked the other day, my camping bag, like my Alice pack, is sitting there, loaded down. All I got to do is pick it up and walk off, and I can't make it happen. And the reason is because I need to be here in the mornings to get pottery molds out of bowls and flatten the bottom of condiment bowls and all such as this, and I need to check on this, and well, I got to feed the chickens in the afternoon. There's so much it has to go on every day that it's hard to just walk off and leave it. And I don't know. I've got to reschedule my life away. I'm trying to do too much. I see right now I am. But I have several big looming projects that we're going to get done. We're going to finish this back porch, and then I've got a bathroom in my house that I need to finish. 5 years we've been living in this house, and I hadn't totally finished our master bathroom. I'm fixing to get that done, and after that, we're going to just relax and cook and make pottery and cook and fish, and that's going to be about it. I make a few knives, obviously. I hadn't made no knives all summer because it was so hot, and I had all them knife orders, and I was like, well, I had a bunch of people still wanting some knives, and I hadn't took no orders on them because I knew I was going to be pressed to get them done by Christmas, and I was afraid people was going to be like, I want one for a Christmas gift for somebody, and then I fool around and not get it to them, and I just can't. And I may get some done before Christmas and get them to, but it'll be after this next week gets knocked out. I can build one in a day, knife and sheath, but it takes a full day of doing nothing but that to do it. And I've got one that I'm going to finish and sell chances. I'm going to finish a Bowie for those of you that didn't see the video. I think most of you probably did. And a good Bowie that I'm going to build, knife, sheath, deer antler handle, is forged out of a G-Whiz plow, mule plow. And we're going to sell chances on it. And all the money's going to go to help Sam Allen. And those of you that are local here know of Sam Allen, but he's still in the hospital, doing a little better apparently, but still not doing good. Mounting up probably astronomical medical bills. He's been there 30-something days and needs some help. So we pray for Sam Allen. Pray for Danita up in Sunbright, Tennessee. I'm sure the prayer list could get long, but anyway, we're going to sell those chances on that knife, and all the money will go to that family to help them with their hard times. Mary Anderson, we're doing a giant tub. The whole back wall, which is as big as the bathroom, is as big as this bedroom I'm sitting in. So this is the front side of the house behind me. Directly opposite on the back side of the house, there's going to be a tub, like it's going to be up on a platform. We're going to put a tub on it because I didn't know what kind of tub it's going to put. And I got a hole for a drain. And we're going to have to build a platform so we can run all the drain pipes and hide them. And we'll tile over that. And then it's going to butt up to a wall. There's going to be a huge walk-in shower. And I want a walk-in shower with 2 openings with a bench in the back. The bench is because I'm not always going to be a young man and I need to sit down on something to wash my nasty feet because I go barefooted outside in the dirt. So, you know, you have to plan these things. It don't just happen. You have to think about it. Jerry Clower. Oh, Lord. Oh, shoot this thing. Lord help. I don't know which Jerry Clower I ain't already told 1,000 times. Which one y'all want to hear? Yeah, Mary don't ever build a 2-story house either. We built a set of stairs up to a loft that sometimes I think about walling up. Because nobody go up there and do nothing. They keep piling stuff up there. Right now we got a Christmas tree up there. We got 3 Christmas trees in the living room alone. 2 of them was given to us. We bought 1 tree out of this whole house. I got 1 on the porch. It's a 8-foot tree, 7-foot tree. It's on the porch with nothing but lights on it. And there's 3 in yonder. My daughter's got 1 in her room. She decorated. Well, Tommy, it's going to have to drastically change that weather is if we get any snow here because I was sweating. I can't tell you what my underarms smelled like. Old Juice Stone Wilson would have said onions. Why y'all's messages coming up retracted? Everybody's messages is saying retracted. Ceramic Christmas ornaments, yes, we sell Christmas ornaments. We do handprint ornaments. You can bring your kid here and they can mash their hand in clay and we'll cut a circle around it, poke a hole in it, glaze it, and you can hang it on your Christmas tree. We got 1 of Brody's. What?
You got handprints or the other kind?
Either one. Bring them here. We got him. Michelle heard this and she's running to grab Christmas tree on. We got all kind of ornaments we sell. We do sell ceramic ornaments. We have kids that get cookies for Santa plates made here that has their handprints in the plate and they put cookies on it for Santa Claus. Because y'all know Santa Claus likes cookies. And I tell you, Santa Claus likes these Christmas tree cakes too. I'm going to eat that in here in a minute. I just ain't had time to think about it. Green grass doormat put in the shower floor to wash them feet. Well, I ain't never heard of such, Gannon. I will have to check into that because that sounds wonderful. I like the idea. Have you heard of a green grass mat in the shower to wash your feet on? Hand me some of them ointments.
I only got 2.
And Vicky asked about her ugly mug, and Mary said, "What mug?" Let me see them. You come around here. Look at this.
Go into a house here at the house.
See, it's got a hole. This is all we've got right here.
The other ones are in the shop.
This one has a manger scene on it. This is what we've got in the house. Several different designs. We've got some with nutcrackers. We've got some with what all else is on them?
Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
Snowmen.
Snowmen. Christmas
this
trees.
This is handprint was I've been doing for somebody, but don't drop them.
Yeah, this is some kid had his handprint made. We hadn't got to him. Here is a foot. And see, that's got a hole in it. You tie it and hang it on a tree. So that's your kid's foot. Looks like a reindeer. And then there's Santa Claus. See, his beard's got the hand. I don't know if y'all can see the imprint, but the imprint of the hand is in there. I have to be careful with them. Them belong to somebody, and if we drop it and break it, I'd be scolded. Mary Vicky is a lady that was bidding against you on the mug that you bought. And she really wanted a mug, so when I made another one, I contacted her and said, hey, I've got a mug if you really want one. I'm hoping here in the next little while I can get several made. One of the things is we don't do a lot of flat matte colors, and that's what I like to put on these mugs. I don't like them really glossy and shiny on the ugly mugs. So the glaze that we use has to really fire a little higher than what we fire all of our other pottery at. You fire it at cones. For those of you that are not familiar, cone 06 is low, and you go 06, 05, 04, 03, 02, which we fired 04 for bisque, and that's at 1820 something or 30 something degrees. So as you move up, then you go to cone 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It goes up to 10. We fire at cone 5 mostly. Some of this stuff requires cone 6. Well, you discover that every keel company, the temperature is a little bit different. So when you change between two different keels, you get a different temperature, which makes your pottery look drastically different. So when you're doing production pottery for stores, everything has to look the same. So you got to figure out what that look is. And that's why we wound up at cone 5. But the ugly mugs require cone 6. So that's why we fired one the other day, and I've got to refire it to get it up to the right temperature. Oh, the AstroTurf mats.
You can show my purses that I've been making.
Oh, Lord, y'all. Come here, hand me that. Y'all look at this she made. Out of a quilt. Out of an old quilt. That handle I'm taking, it ain't sewed on there.
Oh, you got to put brads in it.
Yeah, I got to put the brads in the handle. She's an artist. She can make anything now. I guess that's why we fit together like a hand and a glove.
Come on.
We're gonna get Mary, you'll have to fire it to a degree. At least to biscuit to like 1800 degrees. Look up Raku firing. You can use like a 5-gallon gas bottle with one of those ones like I burned them logs down there, and you can stick that thing into some kind of a container and put your pottery in there and get it hot enough to biscuit. Because if you don't biscuit, it'll crumble all to pieces. It'll dry out and brittle. You want to fire it to some degree to just harden it. But you can buy little small keels for a little or nothing sometimes, especially if you find somebody that's getting out of the pottery business. I've had people give me a keel. Now the one we was given, we didn't really use much, but oh, you want a good knife? Jimmy, we'll get you fixed up. It might be. It may be after Christmas. I've got to see. This time of year gets crazy for me, and the problem is all of my extra little bit of time I want to go to the woods and go hunting. So I don't get out there and work on stuff like I would like to, but it's cool enough. This is the time of year I would love to just go out there and piddle around in my shop and make knives and crank them out. But now I'm going to do that. I love to make knives, so hopefully this will be the last time I start off on some giant project like a back porch and it consumes all my... Y'all, peeling them logs is what's whooped me. That's been the hardest thing out of the whole deal. Constructing the porch ain't nothing to. It's peeling all the logs. Oh, we done lost William. Well, we'll probably still be here when you go through that holler and back over the next ridge, William. But good night if we don't see you again. There's a monkey jumping on my bed right here.
Come on, they're fixing fire on the movie. Come on.
He likes these movies in there where they cowboys and stuff get to fight. He's watching Indiana
He's
Jones.
watching Kelly's Heroes.
Oh, Kelly's Heroes. Y'all probably don't know about Kelly's Heroes. You better go in there and check out. They fixing to fight. Oh, they fight on that and good. He likes a good fight. Anyway, I know y'all probably don't watch Kelly's Heroes. Nora, thank you. Schultz. Schultz. Was that not on what? That was on you're thinking about Hogan's Heroes. Hogan's Heroes. I watched that for a long time when we had just the antenna. We watched that every night. I watched that in Green Acres. That fell on Green Acres, Tanner Cohen. Kelly's Heroes has got. Is it got John Wayne in it? I can't remember. Oddball, yeah. Yep. Clint Eastwood, Don Rickles. That's right. Yep. See, it's been a while since I've watched Kelly's Heroes. I've got it on DVD somewhere. I don't know if it's under the bed or in a drawer in there. But I've got about every Clint Eastwood movie ever made here somewhere. I'm not a fan of the Dirty Harry movies, contrary to popular belief. I liked his westerns, and then I liked Every Which Way But Loose. Right Turn, Clyde. Greg, yeah, I'll hatch you some chickens. When spring rolls around, we're going to try to hatch. Hey, y'all, speaking of chickens, my brother-in-law, you know the black rooster I brought in? I can get a handful of them things. Anybody else want one of them black roosters? If you're interested in some of them black chickens like that, they mix. They half gray and half I am some money. However you say that. I can get you some. But I hate to go gather them up and I have to store them and keep them here and nobody wants them because I only need the one. I'm going to cross them with Matt Gray's so they're more game fowl than they are I am some money. So if somebody's interested in those black chickens, holler at me. I can get you some. And I know these YouTube and Instagram and Facebook don't like you peddling live birds, so they may block my video for saying that, but you know, they not gonna break me. They can't eat me. Well, Tommy, I can get you one just like him, a little younger. In fact, they called me and said, "You want these?" Greg, are you local around somewhere? I mean, are you within driving distance? Because I hadn't never shipped a live bird, and I don't know that I even want to go to the post office with a chicken under my arm and be like Az Lee. You know, Az Lee, y'all was wanting a Jerry Clower joke. Let me run this and by you. All right, Greg, email me, or either I tell you what, get on my Facebook page and message me there would be the easiest way. Because I will be looking and do it on the Spirit of the Outdoors. If you get on my Justin Peden, you're probably going to be a while getting a reply because that's the last place I go and check messages. That's just how it is. I don't do it on purpose. It just works out that way. But anyway, old Jerry Clower, Az Lee, she was headed to the market and going to town to do something, and old Ben D. Lauder come walking up. Old Ben, he had a chicken under one arm, had a basket of eggs under the other arm, and he had a pig under one arm, had a basket of eggs under one arm. Let me remember how this goes for a second. He had a basket of eggs, a chicken, and a pig. One of them was on top of his head. I think he had the basket of eggs on top of his head, and he had a chicken under one arm and a pig under the other, and he was headed to the market to sell them all. And oh, Ashley, Ashley was ugly. They said she was something other ugly a while. They said, oh, Ashley was so ugly she had to slip up on the dipper to get a drink of water. That's ugly. But anyway, old Ben D. Lauder got on. They happened up about the same time, and she said, Ben, I don't want you walking with me. He said, well, why is that, Ashley? She said, you might try to hug me. Ben said, now, Ashley, he said, how in the world am I going to hug you? He said, and I got a pig under one arm and a chicken under the other arm and a basket of eggs on my head. She said, well, she said, you could set that basket of eggs down and hold that pig with just one arm. She said, and I could hold that frazzling chicken. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Oh, Vicky, where the red fern grows, that'll bring a tear to a glass eyeball. My wife won't even let me watch it. I got it on digital video disc right here. I could watch it tonight. I like that movie. And she loves animals to the point that she won't let me watch it in this house because it tears her up. So we don't get to watch that. Brody won't never know about where the red fern grows unless we send her off somewhere one night where we have a boys' night we can watch it. I ain't seen Old Yeller in so long I can't tell you what happened in the movie. Yeah, little Ann and old Dan, man, when he buried them dogs, I didn't cry. Them onions, though, I was cutting up, I had to. The email is justinpeden@gmail, Greg. JUSTINPEDEN @gmail. Matt Douglas is here. Mary Anderson, you said you ordered some giant chicken eggs. What if you'd hatched that and there'd been dinosaurs in it, or ostrich would have come out? That'd have been fun. You'd have hatched it and it'd have been wound up being an emu. Boy, boy, boy. Been like, surprise, surprise. I noticed didn't nobody pick up nothing about the Papio Donald Flower Hour. I bet Tommy knows about it. When I said this was the Papio Donald Flower Hour, somebody's got to pick up on that. Somebody's got to have got that. I'm going to be heartbroken if nobody got that. Tommy, you the one I'm betting on getting it. The Long Riders, yep. Mass communicating. Yeah, yeah. He said there's a fella in there that'll pay you $10 to sing in his can. It's been a while since I watched that, but that's a good one right there now. They picked on us old Mississippi folks pretty hard on there, but we took it well, I'll tell you, because they didn't miss it by much. Oh, Lord. There was some of that stuff they hit pretty close to home. In fact, I knew some people that was just about just like some of them old boys. Like Odell Marr. I know some people that's close enough to like him, and it was scary. They got up and left because they don't know what a good movie is. Sarah, when we was going first, Brody was a baby, and when he first got up walking, I mean, he's wide open. Brody don't stop. You seen Brody here for a little while tonight. I can't have Brody on live to where I can engage with somebody else and keep up with what's going on, and him too, because he's like a pinball in a pinball machine. He's here, everywhere. And he was like that as a little bitty baby. So when he first started walking, we got one of them harness things with the bungee, cord on there. I thought, man, this is great. So at church, I strapped it on him one night. That way, if he got away from us and run out of the aisle, I could reel him back in like a gruntle. That didn't work. He screamed bloody murder. He caused more of a scene. I said, shoot, just let him run. Yeah. That's exactly what Brody done, Jason, in church. He done RUNNOFT. Larry Reese. We can have fun now Larry's here. I done decided he wasn't coming. Lord, Lord, Lord. Greg, thank you. Yeah, Justin, whenever he turned around, old Dale Martin said, you two just dumbing a bag of hammers. I thought, yeah. I know some people I've told that to. They ain't no good rocks here, Larry. I'll have to trade you some dry dirt down here for some rocks. All we got is red dirt down here and muddy water. If you want to see some muddy water and red dirt, I can ship that to you in trade for some rocks. And I need some rocks. I need enough to build my chimney back here on my fire pit. So how do I go about getting me enough of them rocks up there to build my fire pit down here in Mississippi? Because we don't got no rocks. We got some old sandstones. And the first time I got some out there around my fire pit, and they get warm and they just crumble all to pieces. Yeah, they done turned old Pete into a toad. He said, we thought you was a toad. But they wasn't nothing funnier. And when old George Clooney looked up, he said, just don't get it, Big Dan. I just don't get it. He got it right quick. He said he had the gift of gab. Yeah. See, Mississippi, and now once you get over into Alabama, they got a lot of lime rock. Now, Louisiana, I don't think Louisiana got no rocks. They might in the upper northern parts close to Arkansas, and I think they some in the northern corner of Mississippi, like up around Pickwick Lake, up in some of those areas. But here, you find some gravel in a creek bed, and it's about big as your thumb, and they had to dig it up. The kids get out and play and come in and their clothes is stained up either red and green, looks Christmassy, in the summer because they have red dirt stains and green grass stains all over them. Larry Reese, you found one cow pie and a dead snake. You never did find no dirt. What is a jar of dry dirt worth to you, Larry? I might could corner the market on there and be able to afford to buy me a new fish knife. Oh Lord. Y'all, Mr. Larry, you need to go back and read some of his comments. Now he can tell some tales. Now he give Jerry Clower a run for his money. Between him and Tommy, the comment section stays pretty well lit here. If you don't go through and read comments, now they don't always make it to every video, but occasionally there'll be one get on there. Well, Justin Wicker, I was up there. I went to Iuka the other day. We got a store in Iuka that sells our pottery, and I was there 2 weeks ago. But I don't know. When I go, I just strike out. I don't never think about, okay, who all lives up here? Who do I need to... Because my mind stays... I don't have no way of keeping up with who's who. Y'all, my little old mind can barely keep up with what I'm doing. So everybody's got rocks but me. Y'all, I've got pine trees. So what I've done is I figured out how to use my pine trees. So if I had y'all's rocks, I'd be built no telling what out of rocks out in the yard. I mean, it'd probably look like Stonehenge out here or something, you know. It's no telling. Justin, you talking about can't remember what you did yesterday. Why do you think I started making videos? I can go back and look to see what I did yesterday. It's the only way I know. Let me tell y'all a true story. This is a true story. Somebody commented on one of my videos about a shirt that I had on, a flannel shirt. It was like, I like that shirt. I think it was on a reel on Instagram. Anyway. So, well, I got to thinking about it. I said, I ain't seen that shirt in a while. So I asked Michelle, I was like, have you seen this shirt? I was like, it ain't in my stack of shirts in here on this shelf where I put all my flannel shirts. I ain't seen it in a while. It's been a couple of weeks. I don't know where this shirt went. I know it's done made it through the laundry and back because I done seen other ones cycle through and come back again. Oh no, don't know nothing about no shirt. What shirt you talking about? I said, well, hang on. And I went to pulling up videos and I scrolled through all my videos till I seen a thumbnail of me with that shirt on. I was like, click this one. And she's, oh, it's in the closet. So, I mean, if it wasn't for these videos, I wouldn't know what I'd been doing. Larry Reese gets ready to sharpen his plows. He just hooks them behind a mule and goes out there and drags them around the yard. They'll come back razor sharp. With house paint and gasoline. What does gasoline do to house paint? I got some old house paint that's in a can in there. My wife, she has this thing about when you go to Lowe's, she likes to walk around over at that paint counter where people got the wrong color and they bring it back and they set it down over there. She likes to buy them and paint random stuff. When we was living in that old trailer, it wasn't nothing for me to come in from work and I'd see paint on the glass door and I'd be like, oh Lord, she'd have been painting again. Open the door up, the whole living room be a different color. I mean, all in one day. So I bet I got some of them old cans out there. I'll pour some gasoline in there and we'll see what. We're going to paint the canoe. No pines in Virginia where you're at or no cedar. Well, now, I'm going to tell you, them pine trees, Here, they ain't good for nothing but lumber. They don't burn, well, they burn all right, but they burn up fast. In other words, if you put them on a fire, it ain't long you putting another stick of wood on there. Oh, I wish y'all had a Christmas tree cake to eat on camera. I'll try to not smack, but I ain't making no promises. And I promise you, when I get through, I will wipe my hands on my britches. Them little green, I don't know what that is. Probably some kind of chemical that ain't good for you. But they do crunch in your teeth pretty good. Well, Marty, how'd that work out for you? I really want to know. I think a lot of them old boys believe that wild lettuce will do the same thing. I believe they think it's as good. I had never smoked it, but. And one old boy commented on my video where I made that black tar medicine. He says, "This good as heroin." I'm like, man, hold up. This is a mild pain reliever at best. It's about like making your own aspirin or Advil. That's about the extent of it. This is not no miracle drug, you know. People get all excited about stuff, and it's all because they just want to get high. I told one old boy around here one day, he was a well-known pothead, you know, which ain't nothing wrong with that. We want to do what I used to be one too myself. But he, you know, well known, like he's one of them, you know, burn up. He ain't like a functioning guy. He was on Facebook ranting about medical marijuana, how the legal. I was like, man, fella, you the worst enemy medical marijuana has got by promoting it. If you'd hush and just keep your mouth shut, you'd help it a whole lot more. Because I think it could be a good drug that could be used, you know. I don't have no problem with using it for medicine. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Tammy, that Christmas tree cake was good. I hid some of them. My wife coming in and held the empty box up, and I put them in her cookie jar. She won't never think to look there. Nora, didn't the song say, chewing on willow bark to help hold back the pain? I guess y'all probably ain't never heard Played Out by Sturgill Simpson. Jason, does it work good for that? I seen where one guy where they was using Parkinson's, and they claim it works good for people with Parkinson's. So I think it would have a lot of positive uses. The problem with it is all these people that ain't got no medical conditions. It's really pushing for it. Ain't helping the case that they got. You know, I'm pretty well neutral ground. I can pick on either side because I've been both. You know what I mean? I've stood on both sides of the fence. I've smoked enough of it you couldn't haul it in a dump truck. But I will say it greatly affected my functioning. David Russian, you got you a deer. You need some biscuits and some rice and some gravy. Yeah. you know, the problem is they always out of them Christmas tree cakes when you go to buy them. Today they had them in two different places in this particular grocery store, so I got me two boxes. I don't know which one was a better deal, but you know, you'd think it like they got all year to make these things so that they can have enough for. They shouldn't be no shortage of them at Christmas time. I mean, people shouldn't be having to fight over Christmas tree cakes. If I'm in the market of selling Christmas tree cakes, you know, I guess I say that, but then here I am, you know, people's wanting pottery, and I'm like, well, I ain't got enough, you know. But now I can only make so much pottery. Me and her can only produce so much, and we sell everything we produce, so we're kind of limited, you know. Tommy, Tommy, y'all, I ain't even gonna y'all go read Tommy's comment right there. Stop and read that comment that Tommy Litchfield just wrote. Just stop and read it. I ain't believing it. Yeah, I do believe it. I do believe it. No doubt I believe it. Lord Jesus, help some folks. You know, it ain't funny, really. I mean, it is, but it really ain't. Man, what's wrong with people, y'all? I'll tell you what, good biscuits would solve a lot of marriage problems. Matt Douglas, that's golden. You're right. Larry, is that competitive competition y'all got up there between the Baptists and and the medical marijuana growers? If they legalize it, it'll be all right for men, won't it? Right now, all our church folks is on Xanax because the doctor give them that. It's okay. I got this from a doctor. Let me take two before I go to church. I'm just telling you facts. I ain't saying it's right or wrong. My wife coming here scolding me about that one. She said, "Don't you?"
Come on.
I'm playing in here. So much fun on this bed.
Sometimes I feel like I need one of my own.
I tell you what, go get some of that black tar out of the refrigerator in that bowl. Get you a spoonful of that and gum it down. It'll get stuck in your teeth, though.
We forgot.
Come on, you're going to fall off the bed.
What? Oh, Mommy.
Y'all got me tickled now, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I'm sure some of you nurses can tell us some other horror stories about stuff stuck in places I'd rather not know about because I done heard some of them. It'd blow your mind. Tyler, I'm gonna make some knives here before long. When I tell you what my plans are, as soon as the back porch is covered, I'm not gonna finish everything out, but as soon as it's functional, Then I've got a buoy that I'm gonna make, and I'm gonna start selling chances on. When the buoy is finished, then I'm gonna start producing some Jonah knives, and they're gonna hit my Etsy store. Now I may have a few people that have specifically asked about one that I may contact and be like, hey, I got one, you want it? But if not, I'm gonna try to make several. We'll see. I'm not gonna promise stuff, but I'm going to try. I do want to make several before Christmas because I would love to sell them before Christmas. And I'll be honest with y'all, I get more free time somewhere through January into the first part of February, long before gardening season takes off. I get a little downtime, but not much. We start into spring pottery wide open at that point in time. So, but I've got a couple things. I need to raise some money. One, y'all know I want to buy a guitar, but really, in honest to God, I've got to buy another keel. So when I shuffle some stuff out from under my carport around into my back porch, then I'll have some room to set another keel, and I've got to put a brand new keel under this porch. Brody's going to go in yonder. He's done shot me till I'm dead as a hammer. You go in there, your movie's on. You need to be watching your movie before it's off and you miss it. Matt doesn't sense a dang shame, Tommy. I got that. That's good. Vicky, I'll tell you the truth about the whole deal. And this is my standpoint on it, across the board, all of it. Alcohol, medical stuff, recreational use. Here's my take. It's about the purpose in it. If you're using something, whatever it is, because I have a medical condition and this is helping me with that, I don't see a thing wrong with that. If you're using it for a crutch, because I just don't like life and I can't deal with life, and this is my escape, it's a problem for you. And all of it, whether it's marijuana, hard drugs, alcohol, any of it, you have to be careful with it. And I'm talking about pills, everything. Because it puts your mind in a relaxed state. And I'm telling you this from experience, okay? I'm not like I'm standing over here saying this is wrong or I'm trying to justify it. I'm just telling you from my personal experiences. It relaxes your mind to the point that good or evil thoughts are easily spoken into your mind. I have sat out there when I was under conviction and God was dealing with my heart in one of the darkest times of my life. I was at the bottom. I wasn't suicidal. I never got that place, but I was sick of my life. I was sick of the way it was. It was a mess. I had made a mess out of it. I realized I had made a mess out of it. I realized I couldn't fix it. And I was still drinking heavily, very heavily. And the drunker I would get, God was talking to me. I could tune in to the Lord speaking to me. Not an audible voice, but I could clearly know what he was telling me. I seen myself in my mind's eye behind that pulpit of that church preaching. I seen myself. In fact, last Sunday, I was sitting in that chair up on the platform beside the pastor, And I said, I seen myself sitting here when I was drunk one night. And I never thought it would have. I thought I was losing my mind at that point in time. But God was speaking to me. God was showing me things and giving me hope. But on the flip side of that, there's been times where I was in that state of mind that there was evil thoughts that come to me just as easily that led me down dark paths. And that's why it's not recommended for Christians to get caught up into anything that is mind altering. It's not about, hey, you touch this, you're going to hell for it. That's not the issue. The issue is you don't realize after a while what it is doing to you on a slow, gradual plane. It's like alcohol. A few social drinks with your buddies probably ain't going to send you to hell. But a year later, after a few difficulties in life have happened to you and you're being tested and this is my escape route and this is how I deal with it, and it gets worse and you get deeper into it, then all of a sudden you look up one day and I'm drinking a 12 pack of beer and a fifth of whiskey a day. And you're like, what? How'd I get here? I mean, I know the nights that I drank a 12 pack of beer from the time I got off work till I went to bed and had drank a whole fifth of apple crown in the mix. And you can't function that way. And so that is the difference. If you take one pill for a condition you've got, that's not wrong. Okay, you gotta understand a lot of things I pick and joke about, but it's like marijuana. If like Jason, he's using it to fight a condition he has and it's helping him, well, he's using it as medicine. I don't see nothing wrong with that. But to the guy that got off work and I don't like my life and it's a mess and I'm just gonna get stoned as I can get and I'll smoke this till time to go, till I go to sleep at night and I get up in the morning and smoke it all the way to work and that's what I do every day. Well, I can't justify that for him. Regardless of what they use to defend it, that's a crutch and it is affecting your life. So, and that could be the same way with coffee. And that's one that is like nobody ever says coffee's wrong. Well, I drink coffee because I like the taste of it, and so where do you argue with that guy that says, well, I drink beer because I like the taste of it? I'm not drinking coffee, and my drinking coffee is I fix one cup and I sip on it, and I may do that all day. I may drink a pot over the course of the day, but it ain't like I'm drinking 3 pots of coffee because I want to get wound up on. But it could, if you're doing it for that reason, it could become wrong for you. I mean, it could become something that's took over your life. So that's just, I know that went down a deep rabbit hole, but and like I said, I don't really think it has anything to do with whether it's a chemical or whether it's natural or whether it ain't. I mean, that really has no bearing on the moral or spiritual attachment to it. It's about the condition of your heart and your reason for doing something. If you take Xanax because I have this something flares up and I have this emotional downfall and I need a Xanax to keep me from doing something stupid, then by all means take it. But if this is just I take this every day because I'm just miserable and this helps me get through, well, you've got to figure out at some point how to handle life without it. So, I'm not gonna never sit down and say just because somebody does something they're going to hell over it. I don't know. God do that, but it's a touchy thing. And it has to be usually that stuff like that has to be handled with an individually. Like okay, this person's done took it too far and going down the wrong path. This person is actually using it properly. I mean, and it's hard to differentiate that. That line gets very blurred. Ooh. I'll tell y'all one of the hardest things to quit. People don't never talk about. That's soft drinks. I come near quitting coffee than a person that drinks several Coca-Cola or, well, we call it any kind of drink, canned drinks. If they drink them on a regular basis, you try to get them to quit that. Tear your head off. So it ain't as much about what it is. It's your attitude about doing it, and then it's the effect it's having on you. What is it? Does it affect your? Jason, my bout with alcohol personally, I have tried every drug there is. I think ecstasy was the only thing that I don't think I ever did, and I never did heroin. Uh, but alcohol was the one thing that got me. I never got addicted to anything else. But now we were in the late '90s, and we did stuff as partying. These kids now drugs, they get on crystal meth and get in it. I never liked crystal meth. When I did the way it made me feel. I'm already hyper and wound up and have plenty of energy, so I did not need that. That made me feel awful. But alcohol, I would have never beat it by myself. God delivered me from it. I want to make that clear. I did not just quit alcohol. I did not get off of it. It's that powerful. And it's like some of the drugs are that way. When you try to get somebody hooked on something and try to get them to quit, and they can't. That's where God steps in. And I think when God delivers you from something, that is a clear sign that, hey, this was wrong. So it's about the quantity. But so like me taking alcohol now and making a tincture, like I was telling Uncle Sasquatch about the cold medicine I made, that is an alcohol tincture, and I take one swallow of it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no way that I'm going to hell over that. But to the guy that's got the bottle at the state that I was in at that time, where I drank a bottle of it every night, you can't tell me that that's okay. So that would be how I look at it. But I'm one of them people. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus and tell them you're going to hell for this. I want to say, hey, there is a better way. I'm not saying you're going to hell for what you're doing, but come here and let me show you a better way. And that's Jesus Christ. Does have the power to heal, to deliver, and that is what you should reach for. It's, it's not about trying to condemn somebody for, hey, you're wrong, because, we're all wrong about some things. We all have some things we need to work on. It's not about pointing out everybody's sin. It's about, hey, come on, let me help you get better. Let me show you a better life. Let me show you an easier or better way. That's what we need to do. It's not, it's not about, hey, I want to point out, hey, you're wrong for this. You're going to hell for that. I don't like to do that. I do think there are some things that are clear, like, hey, if you do that, that's wrong. But, the Bible says all liars shall have their part in the lake of fire. So it's pretty clear that if somebody's telling lies, that's wrong. You can't do that. So. Jerome Smith, you finally made it in there. Art living. I don't know how in the world I found 80 something people that will sit and listen to me sit here in a chair and rattle on and talk about just whatever comes up, on a Friday night when they should probably have their wife out on the town at a fancy restaurant with candles on the table. Who am I kidding? Most of us be sitting on the porch with a citronella candle burning, swatting mosquitoes. You know, it'd be more of our peaceful lifestyle. Do I whip my okra plants? I don't know what whipping an okra plant is, but I will say my wife come ask, said, we still got okra on the plants there? I said, yeah, they still. So she said, I'm going to paint them. You paint your okra plants? Something about Christmas ornaments. Y'all don't ask me. I don't know if she did it or not. Wayne Wiley, you probably made the wisest decision. Probably the best money you've ever saved. Did y'all see the video? It was on Instagram with a guy that he said, hey, he said, I'm looking to marry a straight male. And everybody was like, what? He said, hear me out. He said, you can have any girlfriend you want. I don't care who you date or if you, he said, but we got 2 incomes. He said, I've got a boat. He said, if you are, so anyway, they was talking about all the stuff I could have. And he had a really good idea. Anyway, it was funny. So Jason, she's working, I see. Friday night, spirit of the outdoors. Life is good. I tell you, life is good. No, Jerome, there's nobody in driving distance of me here that I know of that has the equipment and the ability to do it properly. But here's the deal. I don't want to do none of that. When I get some more free time, I'm going to sand the barrel smooth myself. Hey, see if we can do it, do a video on it. We got us a smooth bore. We don't know what caliber it is. We'll figure it out. We'll get a caliper and see what ball got, But for about $115, I can order a barrel for it. So that's what we're gonna do. For $100, when I get a little extra money, I can throw away after Christmas. $115, we'll put a new barrel on it. We'll dye it. We'll break it in. We'll have a brand new barrel on a CVA muzzle loader, and I think that's a smart thing to do. I am gonna probably play with it some more. I had a lot of people saying if you'd put thicker patches, I am gonna try some just to see. The problem is not the thickness of the patch. With the way it is corroded and pitted and stuff, within 2 shots, you're not getting you've got to either scrub it between every shot. I mean, there's just a lot of problems with it's not that, hey, this thing won't shoot. It's that it's corroding with powder really fast. Like the ball will fall down at one time, and then the second shot, you just about can't ram it down in there. Well, if you take it hunting and you shoot more than twice, are you going to scrub it between every shot? It's just not practical. You know what I mean? Because, I hit close to the bullseye one time. I don't know. We'll play with it. So I think I'm going to take it and just sand on it. Matt Douglas, the okra plants, we cut the bottom leaves off, and they get taller, but it makes it produce. But I'm going to be honest with you, time you plant a half a row of okra, you can't keep it cut like it is. I don't need it to grow and produce. I need to slow it down. What do you do to keep it from producing so much so fast? That's what I need. Yeah, that's me. What I want to know is, we're talking about the pup. Is Gideon watching tonight? Where is Gideon? Gideon ain't that the Rottweiler's name that watches my channel? I hadn't heard from them in a while. Brian Pruitt, you ain't never lied. We ain't got no lot of channels no more because we got the friendly TV. But I tell you this, Brody likes to watch something on a movie or something, and we'll get on like Prime Video we got several The Roku TV has several apps. You know, I'm sure y'all's is set up similar now. It ain't like it used to be. Used to, you flip through all the channels and that what was on, what wouldn't. You know, now you got so much stuff to choose from. It ain't funny. You still can't find nothing fit to watch. That is why I make content and as much content as I do, because it's like I like Andy Griffith. I done watched them 1,800 times a piece, and I still get tickled at Barney every time he says, "Citizens arrest! Citizens arrest!" But, you know, that was the old good stuff. We could sit down and watch that and didn't have to worry about our ears being filled with garbage. Well, right now, Matt Brody is on to Park Ranger LB, and they chase dinosaurs around, but it's pretty clean. But God, it drives me nuts to watch that man run around and act like a goofball. It's clean, and that's. There's a lot we like. There's a lot of older shows like we liked. The Rockford Files, and I liked Columbo. Uh, I liked Magnum PI. I mean, we've watched all of that old stuff. But now, I don't know. Brody watches a few shows, but I don't know. MASH was good. I watched MASH for a while. I don't know. For some reason it got old to me fast. That was like Hogan's Heroes. It was really funny for a while, and then I just kind of got, I don't know, it just kind of got where it didn't enter. Andy Griffith Show, I can watch it over and over and over. The Beverly Hillbillies is, I like it. I don't know, it's funny for a while, but then after a little while it gets ridiculous, I guess. I don't know. Uh, what was the other one that I liked? There's some other show. Oh, Sanford and Son. I can watch Fred Sanford pretty much regularly. If it's on, I can watch Fred Sanford and get a kick out of it. We watched some of the Waltons. Never was big on the Waltons. I liked Dick Van Dyke Show, but I didn't really like Dick Van Dyke. I liked him, that fellow that he worked with in the store. Him, and when they'd get in there, that fellow, well, who is he? He was the one that was funny on that show. He should have had his own show. Probably did at some point. I just don't know. Petticoat Junction was good. I liked Petticoat Junction. Green Acres, I love Green Acres. It was so stupid that it was funny, and I like Green Acres. Um, see David Rush, Car 54. I never watched any of those. Ain't that Hawaii 50 or whatever? I don't reckon I ever watched any of that. And I tell you, one of the shows that I liked, it really wasn't clean. I really wouldn't recommend it. I don't know why I used to. It's been a long time since I watched much of it with Becker, and I did. It got kind of vulgar at times, so it really wasn't a good show to watch. But the fact that he griped and fussed about everything just tickled me pink. But now he wasn't no model citizen by no means. He ain't somebody I recommend your kids watching, I don't think. Well, I had done messed my chat up there. I got it fixed. y'all coming up with some good old shows. They are. And you know, there's probably a lot of this young generation that don't know nothing about all this stuff. And I remember when I was a teenager and they would tell us, y'all don't know nothing about the old stuff. That's like music. Y'all, the music they make today is garbage. I mean, I listen to very little music, but for Christmas season, I downloaded the Apple Music because it had all the Christmas music on it. Every other thing messed up. You couldn't pick what you want. And I won't tell you, Alan Jackson is by far the best Christmas album out there. Just gonna told you. I like Mariah Carey. Alan Jackson has got her beat. Alan Jackson is where it's at on Christmas music. He's got a couple of Christmas albums and they all good. So don't miss out on that with your music. Now the Monsters and the Addams Family, I liked both of them. Them was good shows. I listened and there is some new. I mean, obviously we talked about Oliver Anthony a while ago. I have mentioned him. I mean, he's back to kind of what music was supposed to be. But when you look at mainstream media, it's like Taylor Swift. What is everybody crazy about her for? I mean, she's decent, but she's not that great. I mean, she don't even play the guitar anymore. What's up? I mean, I say she don't. I hadn't been to one of her shows. I don't know what she does. Some of y'all might be Swifties. I'll be honest with you. If she was playing out here across the road, I doubt I'd walk over there to see her. This thing drives me nuts. Oh no, Brian, the cartoons is awful. Brody, I mean, the way they look, it's like blocks moving. I'm like, what? Ain't we got enough technology like to make this better? I mean, the Looney Tunes was great. Let's put a little more detail into them and let's run that again. I mean, Foghorn Leghorn's hard to beat, him and old Bugs Bunny and old Yosemite Sam and Porky the Pig and Elmer Fudd. I mean, really, bring Daffy Duck back. What? Man, we don't watch no SpongeBob. I don't allow SpongeBob in this house. If I come in and I see SpongeBob on, I come unglued. I do not like SpongeBob. Ah. Fire on the Mountain. That'd be Marshall Tucker Band. I am a chicken hawk and I eat chickens. He said, I say, boy, your mouths are flapping like a skirt in a high wind. Oh, Lord. Now, Mary, you a Swift, don't. Come on, Mary, you like Swift. Oh, Lord. Now, I had somebody come in today and said, I loved your comment on the CDs where I hung that CD. It wasn't even a Taylor Swift CD. It was just a random CD out in there. And I hung it up in the elderberry bushes, and it worked for running the birds off. It didn't eat them on my elderberries. But I hung it up and said, I found a good use for a Taylor Swift CD, and I still get comments, people that like that. Yeah, I ain't never watched The Simpsons. I ain't watched The Simpsons and that Family Guy. I ain't watched that. Art Living, our list is probably about the same about what ain't allowed, I'm sure. Nora, talking about Taylor Swift. Let me tell you a true story. We were living in a trailer. We had just bought this 42-inch TV, and this is back in the early 2000s. Back in my heavy drinking days, party, young, stupid. And we were watching the Riverfront concert live at Nashville, Tennessee, like 3-day event. All the big stars was there. They had this new guy out called Jason Aldean. Nobody had ever heard of him. That's how long ago it's been. I don't even think they had heard of Luke Bryan yet. They was this little young girl down there just a singing, and I told my wife, Lord, I don't know who in the world they got down there, but she can't carry a tune in a bucket. I said, she won't never make it. And they introduced her, and her little girl's name was Taylor Swift. Yeah. She couldn't sing a lick live. But, when you get enough money made and y'all know, they play it over the intercom like Milli Vanilli, and you can lip sync along. I ain't no big Dolly fan. I like Dolly. Dolly come to our town here back in the summer. Oh, I'm not no huge. Dolly had like 2 songs that I liked. I mean, that's like Willie Nelson. I wouldn't walk across the road to hear Willie Nelson sing. Now, I will say he is a great songwriter. Give credit where credit's due. I wouldn't walk across the road to hear Willie Nelson sing. I know some of y'all probably some big Willie fans. I don't know. I just didn't like him. I don't really like Dolly. I like Dolly Wood. She's got a wonderful theme park. Y'all ever heard of it? Somewhere up there in Tennessee. I've been there a time or two. Now, Wayne Wiley used to talk in my language. I like Larry's Country Diner. In fact, I was watching it here the other day and had the Malpas brothers on there. Now, them Malpas brothers, them some dudes right there. Y'all probably ain't never heard of the Malpas brothers. Glenn Foster, The Walking Dead. I heard about that show. What is that? I can sit here and say I have never seen one episode of The Walking Dead. I have never seen no Hunger Games. I ain't never seen an episode of Yellowstone. Larry Alexander, is that your diner? That must be your diner on there. That you sitting there behind that counter? The Statler brothers. I tell you another one, Glenn Foster, and that is Ralph Stanley. Ralph Stanley is as good a singer as they are. Tommy, that's pretty good. I liked old Waylon now. When I used to listen to some good country music, I liked old Waylon and Hank and Merle Haggard and some of them. It's easy if everybody agree on good music. When you start arguing over, oh, I like them, oh, no, because it really wasn't good. You struggled grasping for straws. And them Oak Ridge boys is pretty good. But I'm going to tell you, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band has got a bluegrass album that is about as good an album as they are made. And they cover that with A Circle Be Unbroken and play it about as good as anybody's ever recorded it. And Larry Alexander, Johnny Cash can sing A Great Speckled Bird as good as anybody has ever recorded it too. So that is a must listen. And I have heard of the Soggy Bottom Boys. I think they sung in the can. Nora, have you ever heard of a girl named Ashton Shepherd? She's from right over in Alabama. I remember discovering her, and I follow her on Facebook. She is starting to try to make a comeback, but she is actually country. Like, she really is country. She'd give Patsy Cline a run for her money. Probably uh, would give Loretta Lynn a run for actually being country. Cindy Evans, I did the same thing. We turned on Yellowstone. I watched about halfway through the first episode. Now, my wife watched most of several seasons, but she had to watch it in here on her phone by herself. I told her I wasn't watching that mess. I think she watched it out there, binge watched it painting pottery one time. I don't know. Didn't seem real to me. Glenn Forrester, Billy Strings. I love old Billy Strings as a guitar picker. Now, he's got some stuff that's a little further out there than I like to go, but they ain't a better guitar picker right now. Not presently. I ain't gonna sit here and say he's the best there ever was, but now you'd have to throw his name in there in the hat if you was trying to draw out the best he is. The boy can play a guitar. Yeah, yeah, Tommy, I would agree. He is about close to Doc Watson as they get. Billy Strings and Doc Watson and Tony Rice is probably three of the top as far as flat picking guitar pickers. Now, I know you got some like Tommy Emmanuel's in that mix, and I don't know that somebody else that does a little flat picking like that I'm missing a name. And when you start talking about like Brad Paisley, you got Brad Paisley, you got Keith Urban. But now you can't forget that Vince Gill is one of the best electric country guitar players that they was. And hey, you go back to some of Vince Gill's older stuff, and Vince Gill could flat play a guitar now. He'd take a Fender Telecaster and make it smoke. Brenda said, "Hey, Brody."
Hey, Brenda. Did you know Brenda is having a birthday?
They ask you, how are the army men?
The army men fight, and some of them get dead. That's how I know.
Miss Mary said hello.
Hello, Miss Perry. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. It'll be your birthday one day, won't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have lots of presents.
Jerome Smith said, "Hey, Brody."
Hey, John.
Robert Johnson. Gannon, is that the guy that plays the blues on the steel?
Hey.
No.
Daddy.
That is Robert Randolph.
Daddy.
Check out Robert Randolph. Robert Randolph plays the blues on a steel guitar with distortion. It is amazing. Pull it up and check him out. They just you may not like it, won't listen to the whole album, but you need the experience of Robert Randolph. Yeah, Robert Johnson, he was Crossroads.
Dad.
What?
I'm gonna have lots and lots of ornaments at my birthday.
It's your birthday? Well, Christmas is gonna happen before your birthday, so you gotta talk to Santa Claus. You gotta get in there and tell that elf to bring you the Crimson Pirate DVD.
Yeah. Mom, tell him that.
I know who you talking about, Art Living, and that song. I like that song he played where they sitting there by the fire on the guitar. That was as good. I can't remember his name. Justin Johnson, I am subscribed to his channel. Justin Johnson is in the house band on the Grand Ole Opry. So on Saturday night, tomorrow night, you tune in to the Grand Ole Opry on that Circle TV on the Friendly TV app. And he'll be in the background. The other day he played for what's the new girl's name? I know who I'm talking about. Get off my legs, son. I'm too old for all that. I can't think of her name now. Bell Bottom Country, y'all know who I'm talking about.
Well, I don't know.
Anyway, he was playing the guitar. Justin Johnson was. He's in that house band. Roy Clark was a good guitar picker now. I tell y'all a good song though. Ricky Skaggs does a song. Have you ever heard? I heard Brody. That's enough. Now you go on in yonder.
Okay.
Ricky Skaggs does one called "I Heard My Mama Call My Name in Prayer." Now y'all need to listen to that song. That is a good one. Laney, that's Matt Douglas. That is her name, Laney Wilson. I knew her name. I had Lady Hammer. I had to run Brody out of here. He'll break my leg. When I prop my feet up, he likes to climb on them. My old legs don't hold up to what they used to put. Oh, me. Y'all. C6 Steve. I know I'd like that guy, but he was pretty good to listen to. And I don't know what all he's saying. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff he does I probably wouldn't like, but I have listened to some. He had some good stuff. Well, Matt Douglas, I'm going to tell you something about that old girl. I can tell you she's flat worked her tail off. He played a hubcap. Yeah, got a hubcap. Larry Alexander, I listened to that song. That old fella's got a whole album. Well, he's got a couple of albums, and then he plays with some other people. I pulled it up on Apple Music, and I can't remember his name now, but When Jesus Swings a Wrecking Ball. But there are some more good songs by that fella. I did listen to that the other day. I forgot to write you back and tell you about it. I don't know, y'all talking about Glenn Campbell. Y'all ever heard of a fella by the name of Conway Twitty? My favorite Conway song is Goodbye Time. Well, it's your life. You say you need a change. Let's see here. I'll have to check Jersey Smith. I thought when you said Australian, you was going to go to that little boy, Taj Farrant. Hey. I'll be honest with y'all, it has been a long time since I have listened to a lot of music, and I got the Apple Music subscription today, and then you can get on Apple and if you got an Apple device, and you can listen to about anything you want to, and the music quality is good. And I have pulled up a little stuff that I hadn't listened to in a long time, but I'll be honest with you, I have got to a place in life. I like some music. Music ain't. I'd rather listen to a book. I don't know. I get more out of something like that. Oh, Lord, I could sing some old Conway Twitty. Especially when he off on. There's a lot of ways of saying what I want to say to you. There's songs and poems and promises and dreams that might come true. Johnny Cash. I've never heard of Black Label Society. My rock was some of the bands of the late 90s, like the Wallflowers, the Matchbox 20, all those old bands right through there, Goo Goo Dolls. But then from that, my rock music went back to the 80s, to, 70s, 80s, all the Led Zeppelin up to Guns N' Roses. That was my styles of music. And then the old country. There's very little, and I really didn't get into the 90s country till over in the 2000s. Then I went back and caught up, like, I don't know. They hadn't made no good music in the last 20 years, I don't reckon. Tommy, she's like, I think she ain't commented now. I think she's done out. Old Hank Sr. When he took off on, I got a feeling called the blues, oh Lord, since my baby said goodbye. I don't know what I do. All I do is sit and cry. Oh Lord, the last long day she said goodbye. My daddy used to walk around out here feeding horses, singing that old song about I'm going down to the river to watch the fish swim by. Ho ho. Diana, John Denver just never done it for me. My sister liked John Denver, I think. I remember her having a John Denver CD, but now she was a huge George Strait fan. I've never heard of Gillian Welch. Kenny Rogers had like two songs I liked. Yeah, David Rushing, you know the song I'm talking about, don't you? And Hank Jr. had a lot of good songs. He had a lot of bad songs that was good too, but Hank Jr. was a good songwriter. Now you got to admit, and he capitalized on his time period. He was living in the moment. Mary's done got so up beside herself she's retracting her comments. I'm picking on you, Mary. Subject changes. Hard to keep up when it changes like that, don't it? Get up, go hunting, Justin Wicker. We'll see you next time. What they say, we'll see you on the flip side. Uncle Sasquatch is gone too. Mind your top knot. Hey, check him eyeball lids for cracks. Won't be long. I'm gonna do that too. But good night. Well, y'all, we have done about run out of stuff to talk about. I can't believe there's still 81 folks listening to me right along about music that I don't even listen to no more. Gillian Welch is one of the three girls that sang vocals for the Sirens on Oh Brother Where Art Thou. Gillian, Emmylou Harris, and Allison Carroll seduced Everett, Pete, and Delmar. Tommy, I did not know that. I did not know that. Was Allison Krauss in the movie, or she just sung the song for the music? Cause I know Ralph Stanley sung one of the songs. You know, I mean, I know, and he wasn't in the movie. I don't was, or was he in the scene of the cross burning? I can't. Now I got to go back and watch this movie, y'all. You see what you've done? The singers, not the actresses. Okay. I was gonna say I thought I would have caught that. So, yeah. Okay. So Gillian Welch is one that sang with the three girls on there. I'm with you now. I'm with you. Yep, I'm fixing to shut it down anyway, y'all. Yes, sir. We fixing to close it up. Y'all, we got to go to bed. I have got to get up and work. I'm gonna knock some stuff out of here. Plus, I got to make some pottery. Y'all need to go to bed. I'd talk all night, but we got to shut this thing down. I want y'all to know I thank all of you that have stopped by, said hello. Those of you that done went to bed. Those of you that will pull this up that missed it and will watch tomorrow and watch it all the way through. I appreciate it. Y'all, it makes my night to sit here and just chat with y'all. It makes an enjoyable Friday night for me. So I appreciate all of you. I thank you. I love you. Y'all pray for Miss Danita up in Sunbright, Tennessee. She's mentioned, I don't know if she's still on here or not. Yes, she's on here saying good night. Pray for her. Y'all be in prayer for this young man around us, Sam Allen. He's got a long way to go and a hard battle ahead of him. Pray for Miss Mary. She's struggling with a mail route, and it's Christmas time. She's got her hands full. So anyway, thank y'all for watching. I love all of you. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good one.